The remnants of Hurricane Ian brought cold, wet, and damp weather, reminding us it was time to start planning to head south. With one more stop on our list, the Clara Barton house, conveniently located right across from my cousin Robert's house in Glen Echo Park.
Hey, Stuart.
Join us as we learn about Clara Barton, this amazing woman in history, and say goodbye to family. Welcome. We're so glad you found us. We're the Greenshields family. Travel and adventure is a dream that came true in 2021. Circumstances in our lives over the past few years taught us that life is too short. We were tired of the rat race and burnt out. We wanted to do more, live more, and see more of the world our Creator made. In January of 2021, we sold our 50-acre hobby farm, and in April, we bought our 45-foot leopard catamaran we call So Much More. So far, we have traveled over 10,000 nautical miles. Be patient with us as we share our journey. Since moving on the boat, it has been a non-stop learning curve, especially since we had no sailing experience whatsoever. All things are possible, and we hope you follow along. Our goal is to inspire you to do and be so much more.
Welcome to the Clara Barton house. She was, as we found out, an incredible woman. It was very hard to condense what the ranger shared into a shorter video for this. I did put the full video on the member site so anybody who wishes to go there can enjoy it.
Miss Barton was born in America. She was born in Massachusetts, North Oxford, Massachusetts. She was a teacher initially. So she decides to go down to Washington, D.C. She has relatives there, a sister, as well as a distant relative who is a congressman. That distant relative connects her with the U.S. Patent Office, the Commissioner of Patents, Charles Mason. Charles Mason, her distant relative thought that he would hire her as a governess because she's a teacher, she could teach his children. Charles Mason actually says, I'll hire you as a clerk in the patent office. She was one of the first women to work in the patent office, the fourth actually. She is the first to get her check written in her name though, because in the 1800s a woman's check would have been written to her husband or a closest male relative, not in her name. She works on the patent office off and on for the next couple of years until the Civil War breaks out. She is a nurse during the Civil War, unofficially trained, but a lot of what she does is relief work, bringing supplies to DC, and then she realizes DC isn't really where the relief is needed. It's needed on the battlefield. So she gets a permit to bring those supplies to the battlefront and brings them herself and becomes quite famous for it because she is a woman, not only a nurse, but going on the front lines and healing wounded still on the battlefield. She goes to the bloodiest battle of the war, Antietam, the first Battle of Manassas, Fredericksburg. She is there, and a doctor writes home to his wife and calls her in that letter the angel of the battlefield, and that is what she is known for the rest of her life. Eventually starts a section of the International Red Cross in America, and then after lobbying for a couple years, gets the U.S. to sign the Geneva Convention and create an American Red Cross. She is in her mid-60s when this happens, and she is the president of the American Red Cross for the next 23 years until she is in her 80s.
Wow.
She does a lot of things in this. The last 15 years of her life were spent in this house. She resigns from the American Red Cross in this house. 1904, she resigns. Her chief field agent, Julian Hubble, resigns alongside her as a sign of loyalty. But she does not stop even after that. In 1905, when she's 84, she creates the American First Aid Association. The concept of first aid kits, the training for first aid relief, first responders. She trained firefighters, policemen. Eventually that will...
Lifeguards.
Exactly. Eventually that will become part of the Red Cross, but that association was founded by her as well. Spends most of her last years here in this house, passes away of double pneumonia in the bedroom upstairs, and then it takes over eventually by the National Park Service, and it is the first national park site dedicated to the accomplishments of a woman in 1975.
Good morning. We are leaving DC. It has been amazing. Lots to discover here. If you ever have a chance to come visit. There is so much to be explored, and there's still so much to be explored. But it is getting cool. We can't wear shorts anymore. So it's time to move where it's warmer. We've all bundled up. We have cruising friends that are down near Palm Beach, Florida, and they had no issues with the storm that went through, the hurricane that went through. And she says, when I was talking to her yesterday, she said it was very warm, no humidity, and just beautiful. So we're moving south.
Just like a new day, a breath of fresh air in my life. I don't know how, don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life.
Got a plane coming.
My boots and briefcase are waiting at the door.
The Woodrow Wilson Memorial Bridge. Let the good times roll. One knee, one ring. Forever it's our show. I don't know how and don't know why, but I'll be toasting all my life.
I didn't even see that last time.
Explosions like a heartbeat. Yeah, my mind's getting rushes of emotion. Now let's do it again. There's sweetness and adventure without a venture. TV's got your mind stuck on good reality.
But deer swimming across the Potomac.
Soul is life's much more. Life is all on schedule, but dead's forever. I send my condolences to the side of the drive. Some say I'm living in the moment. I said motion, I ain't got no potion, but we can touch the sky.
Call this masterpiece, Scotty.
Cause the soul is warm. Life's much more.
Here, made some French bread that's rising. Oh, blue sky! We've had nothing but gray days for almost a week, so it's nice to see the blue sky. And hopefully the sunshine soon. We're coming up on the power station. How high are the wires, dear?
107 feet.
Sorry?
107 feet.
Called out on the radio to the sailing boat, saying that he was going to pass behind it, and I answered back that we're following behind. And the captain of the barge came back and he was going to pass between the two of us.
Testing. By the looks of it, it's for testing military equipment or new military equipment. Don't put it in. It's for testing new military equipment, and I guess they fire towards the Chesapeake, so we're having to go wide around Cedar Point.
Live fire range. Nice.
And apparently they're active today.
How do you know? Was that what was on the radio while I was in front?
Yes. Yeah. And I have it right. Andrea Nudo. The Andrea Nudo is in front of us. And they're headed down the Chesapeake like us. Right now, with both engines running and the current behind us, we are doing 7.5 knots. I feel like the wind's blowing back my hair. Woo! I'm normally happy if we do 6 knots with both engines running. So we're following the Nudo. I love the name. I get a kick out of it ever since I saw it in Washington, D.C.
Oh, it is so nice to see have the sunshine back. Being that we used to live in Priceville and West Grey and Grey County in Canada. Used to going days, especially in the winter, days of nothing but gray days, very little sunshine, so you get used to it. But since being out here on the boat, I think that is the longest period of gray days that we've had, was pretty much a week.
On this pro line, fishing off Lower Cedar Point, on my port bow, rainbow 416, you on this one, Cap? Well, G-Top, I didn't catch all of that, over. Try to know nothing, try to know nothing.
No, you're turning into crab pots!
That hit the ground.
Okay, we've landed. Quite literally.
Here, you take this off. I'm going to check the type.
Charts in our sonar.
This one and this one. As an added bonus, earlier that day I felt something give loose in my throttle, so I did not have full power in my port engine. And with us being stuck and near crab pots, I needed full power so I could maneuver the boat and get it out and get to a safer place to anchor for the night. Well, we are right at low tide. It's getting slightly lower and then letting up, which leaves us in the uncomfortable position of being stuck here for the next couple of hours. It's getting dark. Yeah.
So Wesley, can you tell me what's happening, please?
Well, the chart was not accurate and the bottom came up faster than I was expecting and we touched bottom. We are at low tide, which is part of the issue, but according to the charts, I did not react fast enough to seeing it come up. I was only seeing it come up to 5 feet, which was bad, but not this bad.
Is there a boat I should be worried about?
We got a crab pod right in front of us.
So what are you guys doing here?
Part of the issue is I don't have most of my power for one engine, which is the engine I need to try and drive forward but not hit the crab pot that's right in front of us.
The socket set is in
Right
That
there.
is the socket set.
That is the socket set.
oh, those are wrenches.
Yeah. Spanners. Spanners.
That are in the rubber.
This one?
Hey, somebody keep that crab pot to make sure it don't start moving.
Janai, keep an eye on that crab pot.
Let me know if we look like we're moving.
Moving? I got in there when it was high tide.
Or he came in a different way.
Minefield. See them all. I'd like to point out that this is not the first time this has happened. Thankfully, this time we don't have
A powerful current.
powerful current.
Yes.
There are some things to be
Very
thankful
impulsive.
for,
We will not hit any rocks.
and it looks like it's a mud bottom, so
Careful, pull in. Just let it sit a little bit. Yeah, what is happening here?
It looks like it's connected.
There's two different.
Oh, I think I see the problem. There looks like there's a bracket that's loose. Or it's only one side is screwed in. There we go.
Okay. So I'm going to take it off first so we can get a measurement of that. And then I want you to start looking. You pull it.
Pull out the screw container.
Yes, don't lose that. Pull that bracket off.
It should slot into that groove, should it not?
Yes.
No.
Grab the flathead.
Help! We're stuck. Is the tide gonna come up? Do we need a tow? Or are we gonna be forced to swim to shore? Follow us on Facebook, SV So Much More. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. Or join our crew at svsomuchmore.ca and help support us. Be the first to see new content, chat with us anytime, and access to exclusive content. Again, that's www.svsomuchmore.ca.